Greg and Ange, they talk about anime, they scream and shout on shows you've never seen or heard. They're all awesome, please take their word. This cast ain't all it seems to be, between just you and me. Guess it's all an anime daydream.
All right,
this is your show, so go for it.
And hey, Anime Daydream, doing it again. Let's see. We are going in not so far back, not so far deep, but we're digging. We're giving you rare treasures from the bottom of the barrel's harsh, but I guess it's kind of there because no one noticed it, not because it's shit. Sometimes it's shit. We gotta do real shitty ones someday. But Anime Daydreams, that's another bonus episode with another guest. This time, who was here? Who goes there?
Hello, I'm Review Cultist.
And Greg.
You need to put some more oomph into your introductions.
Well, master, I am the gargantuan regurgitating extraterrestrial gargoyle known as Greg for short.
Nice.
Welcome to my spooky ass anime.
Woo! Spooky! Horror!
I want to be your shitty ass goblin and intro goblin in one episode, and then leave the call, or just cut that in.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to one day. Next time we have you on the show.
Yeah. Anyway, review, Mr. Review. You're from Dente Rigamortis podcast. I've been following for a while now, reviewing spooky things. So I thought this would be your this series would be your kind of your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I've been
following your
stuff you started weeks ago.
Yeah, something like that. What was that? You anime.
Basically,
wow,
since you told me.
Yeah, intensely dating this episode, which I never got why it's a bad thing in particular, but
yeah, I don't know. Maybe just when years from now, when you're looking back, it's man, a while.
How about a month? Okay.
You put a lot of episodes in 1 month.
Yeah, I mean, we made sure we had a backlog, and yeah, 7 just went up.
Oh, okay. Today?
Yeah, an hour ago.
Oh,
I finished
no.
just doing the episode I don't know what's better if you're committed to the show and there's something you're oh man, that's so great, and oh no, look out, Yuki or something.
Oh god.
Or if you're if you walk away from the microphone and you're very distantly listening to our episode, laughing too hard.
You just hear me you just hear my door
judging it.
It's
The door's shallow way, creaks back open. You're oh my god, worst episode yet.
Jesus,
where's all the Angela?
God, it's a complete sausage fest here.
And then a third track of this episode of you listening to this episode and reviewing it out loud.
Don't tempt me, Greg.
I fucked this one up, Greg.
I already have on our Patreon that we're gonna be having our other co-hosts reviewing our old shows. So,
wait, is he listening to the stories or is he reviewing your actual episodes?
Yes and yes.
Huh.
They are doing 2 separate episode series. This is blatant advertisement, but they are going to be doing Al Dente Reloaded, which is them listening or reading the old stories that they never got to review, starting from episode 1, and then they're doing Al Dente Revelations, which is a 30 to 40 minute episode where they listen to the episode that me and Leviathan did and criticize us. In the ultimate, commentary on our show.
And who's that again? With Mikey and...
Yeah, that's Mikey and the Gamer. And
Captain? Oh, Gamer, yeah.
Yeah, Captain only comes out when there's Slenderman, generally. But that's not this show.
This is vaguely the show. That's why I brought you in here. For spooky things.
Yes.
Spooky things and some Japanese things.
What is this? What's the title again?
Shit. I
have it here. Yokai No Waifu?
Yeah, that's how the English came over. It's yeah. We went into how we dug into how that's I'm gonna blame the subbers on this one because they were kind of shit.
Yeah.
If nothing else, because they had like that balloon font or whatever that is from like I want to say MS Paint or like the word that no one uses.
Oh, like friggin'
Bubble letters, maybe?
Comic Sans or
No, I don't think even that. Like Google in the episode.
yeah.
Bubble letters question mark? Yeah, it's kind of bubble letters. Like it's just like
Okay.
they're all just too thick and like round and just a weird. But not on the anime there. It's just like subbers. Come on.
I mean, the title for the actual anime, like the Japanese one that comes up on the title screen, looked really cool. Like,
Oh yeah.
even had that like giant
I assume
like,
it's
skeleton underneath, like in the background behind it, like kind of just holding it up almost.
Yeah. It was kind of like framed between the hands. So, yeah, visually, real solid intro. Like just square one. I'm like, all right, I'm on board.
Yeah, I mean the intro, like yeah, when you're watching anime, like for me anyways, the intro, like the intro itself, like the opening like little cutscene thing, or like that's what makes it for me. And so like sometimes when that's the one that that's the thing that grabs me. And this one was pretty good. Like it had like a nice kind of edgy like K or J-pop song to it, and it like, but it was like kind of not quite like dark edgy, but it was like a kind of a nice feel for what was going on.
Yeah, had that Japanese guitar kind of thing going on in the background.
Yeah, that like almost like
the old school one.
Yeah, like the old like Buddhist kind of like instruments they have, or the shrine instruments that they.
Yeah, I think we've broken this down before, or at least I have with Angela from whether it's on the air yet or not, but of just what I think anime openings and endings are supposed to do. We're supposed to be like, fuck yeah, we're here, get pumped, punch a monster, bro, and for the opening, and then it's like, all right, chill out, be a little bit sad that we're going, ending, and
yeah, I don't like the ending of the outro music. Like it was,
we got him. We got it a little before. It's weird.
Like it was way too like, so it was like trying to be dark and like morose and sad and stuff, and like
which
that
isn't particularly
like.
Yeah, which isn't particularly with the show.
Yeah,
like,
and like
it's relatively lighthearted.
Yeah, and like even like the animated clips they had, like it wasn't like a full blown like animated outro, but it was like that those clips that they have like in the amidst the credits, and it was just like really feel good, like kind of almost like Day at the Beach kind of stuff, and it's like what?
Yeah, like late and dancey. Like it should have been like a little poppy ending also, but like, it's like slow cryptic like.
Yeah, like I guess they were going for the contrast, but it just did not work. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I guess bare bones premise here. I guess to run that down to just be what it's going for here and what it is.
Me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so basically, it's this monk in training, or like he's a monk warrior, and he's going across. I guess it's feudal Japan.
It seemed olden days. We never.
I remember, like, I think there was the one episode where they went to a fairly modern looking, but otherwise it was like, I guess in the countryside, out in the mountains and stuff. So
it doesn't really define that for a while, and there is those parts of Japan that are just still that way, pretty much.
Yeah, or just, like,
scenery wise.
Yeah, like it's very like rural areas. And he's like traveling along the roadside. And comes across like a band of like roaming yokai, these giant monsters. Like we got Oni, we got Kappa, we have they called there's the long noodly necked guys.
Nukikubis?
Yes.
Or the
yeah, it was that guy. Yeah. I think that was a she. And so
this
like,
dude was, but
yeah, and so there's this like harrowing fight at night, and at the end of the day, he defeated them all. Or I guess at the end of the night, he.
By before the sunrise, yeah.
And basically by dawn, like after all was said and done, the ashes were, or the smoke was kind of clearing. He found himself basically stuck with their daughters. Like they kind of came out of the woodwork, like out of the woods.
Yeah, he kind of goes to like make sure there's no more around, and then he kind of just like finds a bunch of like very young. Kappas
and like we had like a young Oni, we had there's like
Yuki
two
Onna.
sisters, like a Rokurokubi, and then there was like the one that's like a disembodied head, Nekakubi. They were sisters, and then we had a kid.
We should probably should break some of these down what these are later, but keep going. Get your rundown.
And what were the other ones?
We had the Oni, we had the Kappa, the Kitsune.
Yep, and then the two girls, the long necked one and the headless one, or the separate head.
Yeah,
one.
long neck, no neck. Yeah. The Dodomeki, the one covered in eyeballs.
Right. Yeah.
And this one, what was it?
Oh, the Jin Mek. There was that sidekick guy that kind of showed up.
Yeah, Jin Menken.
Yeah, Jin Menku, who was like kind of like a guide of some kind for the girls, and then kind of became like this monk's sidekick.
Yeah, he wasn't a father. He wasn't a baby thing. He just kind of was just shit and was like, nope, I don't want none of this. Like,
they're your problem now.
Yeah, he was kind of he's our obnoxious narrator, know-it-all character.
Yeah.
Who's just like, well, you gotta feed them souls. That's how they survive.
Like, I was kind of reminded of the cat from that one show.
Ghost Stories?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was the demon-possessed cat. Yeah.
A little less of meta than that, but yeah.
No, this one was actually like a monster, like not just a cat or something.
It's apparently an actual urban legend we found. Well, it's not even urban legend; it's old school.
It's from the. I think we looked up. It was the Edo period. Is how long like there's been accounts of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real long thing of the dog with the man face, which I've also pointed out is like in pretty much every horror anime, and he also doesn't do shit.
Yeah, I think it's just like because it's unnerving. It's like
you're like,
a ghost that has,
oh shit,
it's a ghost dog with a human face. Like
there's the one thing like you see them, you will die, or the one that will like rip you in half if you don't answer her questions right, and then like this one just looks at you.
Yeah, just what a cute puppy. Oh.
Oh no! This dog has a mustache. Oh no! This is concerning. It's almost like with a samurai, not in this series, but the samurai with an eyeball for his butthole. Like, it's culture, I'm sure, but Japan's got some weird ghosts going on.
I mean, again, it like you love it. You find it weird. It's interesting.
I don't know how well the audio will hold up, but I went to a rant about what makes anime great and boring to me at the convention ruined this episode, and like I defined it as like what got me was when I found Ranma 1/2, and it was like,
oh my god,
I was like, I watched Dragon Ball Z and that stuff on Tuna. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm all right, I'm fine with this. And then like Ranma 1/2, it's like, oh yeah, it's a martial artist boy who turns to a girl when he touches cold water, and
his dad turns into a panda.
His dad has a panda, and his rival's a pig, and he just gotta marry these 3 girls, and like there's a woman who knows martial arts Chinese food. I'm like,
no, she doesn't. She becomes a cat, and then I think her love,
which she is chronically afraid of. Yes,
yeah. Oh god, it's just. Oh, I think Ranma is afraid of cats.
Yeah, his dad was trying to force him to learn a forbidden martial art that was somehow involved throwing him into a pit full of cats.
Yeah,
I watched a lot of that show because like it got old eventually, but it was they fucking knew their shit. But I was like, I defined it as
a decade or so, and like serialized, and like I'm amazed at how like they had to up the ante, or they had to like basically make it fresh by making it weird, right?
They basically eventually got tired of like, all right, I'm doing these 1-2 chapter stories. I gotta make some like mini epic stuff going on, and then
it's like, all right, they get married at the end.
Well, they almost get married, but yeah. Like,
okay, yeah. I never actually finished Ranma Hut.
I didn't, but I just jumped ahead to the point where I got it, and like, basically they kind of like let it. He says it. Well, he says, don't die. I love you. When she's he thinks she's unconscious, and she's like, gotcha, kind of thing, and the father's immediately forcing them to get married, but then every 28 characters that don't want to get married show up and ruin the wedding, and they're like, okay, whatever, wedding's off. For for now. Like, yeah, for now. And,
that's basically how they always do. Like, anime, like it seems to be like that. Like,
we've gotten over that.
Yeah, like I remember that in the not Tenchi directly, but the Tenchi series GXP, which is like his nephew becomes a space cop.
Fucking that, yeah.
And there's so many like people that like attract to him because he has the Tenchi genes, I guess, or whatever. And by the end,
Earth like, dick, I don't know.
By the end, he straight up has a wedding, like he's gonna get married. And then, just as the wedding gets called off because another group of girls captures him and takes him off to their galaxy, and like so basically the show goes off with them being chased down by the main cast of girls. But
well, speaking of waifus,
back to Yokai No Waifu.
Yeah, so ironically, it's got like a weird subversion harem thing going on. And also, it's
because some of them are fairly young, at least like. In like design or like illustration wise, like
we do time skip for a bit, so most of them are maybe high schoolish, a little younger than that. A couple of them.
Yeah, but then they're like, oh well, I'm only like 2,000 older.
Yeah. Because the object lives 1,000 years or whatever becomes an item, a magical thing, or I think.
Yeah, that's like
anyway.
that was the one
Cursed objects.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of the umbrella one, right?
Yeah, that's one of a kind. That's one of a type. Yeah. Shit. Now
I guess we should also kind of like mention like what these yokai are that like we're talking about, because we're just kind of like name dropping yokai like our people.
Which we had to be like, oh, yeah, we didn't know the names. I didn't know the names of them anyway. Most of them.
I knew what they looked like. I just didn't know. Or I knew like vaguely what they were, but I didn't know like the full names. So
yeah, they had been background jokes in other anime before, basically.
Yeah. Like I feel like Oni and Kitsune and even Kappa are kind of like mainstream enough that you can kind of guess. Like Kitsune, obviously, Fox Demon. Kappa,
Turtle Demon, Fox Demon,
and then the Oni are just basically like Japanese oak.
Rice session for some reason.
Yeah, and the Kappa have that bowl on their head of water that if it spills, they're powerless or something.
It fuels them, and they're also the cucumbers. The trust to salty your butt.
Yeah, that becomes a plot point episode.
Oh yeah. I understand the generic trick to beat a Kappa was to like challenge it to a duel or a contest or something that will make it bow.
Yeah,
and then it will just immediately fuck itself up. Yeah. Because they're very polite, actually. Despite being cannibals.
Despite being like carnivorous, like people that would drown people and then like eat them with their sword. Jimenku, I think we mentioned, like the sidekick dude is dog ghost with a human's face.
Yep. The Jimenken was it's just do anything beyond that. In Yokai Watch, it was the mangy butt monster, as I recall.
Nice.
What was great was the cartoon really played him really well because he had his whole side story going where he couldn't do anything in particular. He was kind of just shit, but he was always getting recognized as a man or dog at the most inopportune moments, whichever one was least convenient at the time.
Yeah.
So like, it's a dog, go throw him in the pound, and he like escapes, and he's like, all right, well, I'm a dog, I might well pee on this fire hydrant, and they're like, that man's urinating on the hydrant, throw him in jail. Like, he was always getting the worst luck and everything.
Yeah.
He had an arc where he went to prison and became hard and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, and so when the kid summoned him, he would be he'd be like, sorry kid, I'm in prison. And he'd have like a cage in front of him. Like,
there's nothing else holding him back, just there's the bars right in front of him.
There's just the bar door in front of him, yeah. Like,
nice. But
and it's just like, I don't want to summon him anymore. He depresses me.
And then the Roku Kobe are, like I said, they're noodle neck like thing. They have like serpentine like necks that like super long. And then the Nekakubi are a related thing where basically their head pops off their body and they go off hunt, according to the Google entry. And those two are redhead. The other ones, I think the Kitsune was blonde.
Yeah. Big bright kind of sunny orange blonde.
Yeah, and the Kappa had dark green hair. The Oni
Dodomeki
blue,
red skin and blue hair. And Dodomeki eyeballs was the brunette.
Yeah,
real straight black. And Dodomekis were they were like evil spirits who were like thieves in their past lives, and the more things they stole, the more bird eyeballs grew on their body. That was a weird specification that I appreciated. And
birds do have a tendency of like stealing things.
Yeah, but I just don't understand why. I couldn't tell you a bird eye from a person eye at a glance.
Yeah, I guess it's just more again for for the people that are for the extra raven eyes, bird eyes of some kind.
That samurai has a bird eye on his butthole. That's the least of my concerns. Yes, my dishonor is doubled.
That's a samurai. Oh god. Yeah. So he has these daughters, or he gets these like yokai daughters and some of them, I think most of them want to be his like eventual wife or something like that, but then also murder him.
They've got really. There's a variety, and they have mixed emotions. Yeah, like some are like, "I'm gonna grow up and marry you, Papa." Because you raise him as his kids, he's in the shrines, don't cause any trouble. But yeah, some like, "I'm gonna grow up and marry you, Papa," and he's like, "Ha, sure, good for you." And he's like, And some is like. Some are like, I love you, Daddy, and I'm going to be your baby forever. He's like, sure, yeah, that's cool. And some of them are sometimes simultaneously like, I'm a girl big and strong, so I can kill you, father, and avenge my real father. And just like he's like, yeah, you do that.
Yeah,
Like,
I was kind of surprised that the Oni was actually the one that was like, I'm gonna be your baby girl forever, and then like the twins or the redheads were the ones that were like super pissed. And like, kind of like or like not super pissed like outwardly, but like they'd be like all like nice and stuff like that, and then they'd like have some moments where they just suddenly go like the screen was all the background would go dark and like that weird like,
the shadow faced look,
exactly. It's just like
the lines across the face.
One day, exactly, yeah. And they just like be conspiring in the corners, like what are they doing?
Yeah, their heads would like float off to the side and like they're having a secret conversation, but you can see where their heads are. So because a giant fucking neck is going there.
Yeah, and just like again, the monk was kind of oblivious to that. Just like, huh, okay.
Was his name Jingen, something like that?
Yeah, I think
Jingen.
Jingen Rai?
Yeah, Jingen Rai. Write that down for later.
Yeah, I'm the girls. I'm not entirely sure what their names were. Like,
they were. Yeah,
I want to say I think the Nikakubi redhead. The Nikakubi was Misa, I think.
Yeah, and Taka.
Yeah.
No. Taka. Or
No, Takataka was that one episode where they encountered Takataka.
Oh yeah.
When they went to that kind of more modern city, and then suddenly this like really, it was one of the episodes where it kind of got a little bit darker than normal. Like it kind of went back, it went to its like the roots of it. Yeah,
because the first like 5 minutes of this show was like hardcore serious.
Yeah, like it was almost like Berserker a little bit, like just went. Like,
almost,
like with the fight against the yokai and stuff, and then
smashing Skeleton Man in half and shit like that, using the actual like monk powers that don't show up for most of the show.
What was that weapon he had? Like, well, he
had the whole thing that was the it was a staff, but it had the fucking like chainsaw head when he pulled the rings on it.
Right, yeah. It was
it like flipped back and like the blade popped out like
and the rings would just like chime suddenly, and then it would just like Oh god. Again, it went like kind of like from like, oh, it's again like another anachronism. It's like, oh, what period is this in, or is this just Japan, like feudal Japan, but with like technology?
Oh man, yeah, that's in general that's a uncommon thing where they're like, like samurai, old school samurai Musou game. Like we're bored now. There's giant robots.
Yeah, exactly. Like subtly, like I think like Mushishi or something like that. Like I was never sure if it was in feudal Japan or if it was like
just the country.
Yeah, exactly. Because he had like some stuff that was a little bit more.
What was it now?
But yeah, so like they go to the one city or the one like urban town, and like they come across that Teke, which is like a Japanese urban legend. You were saying or like off recording. It's like, it's this like half. Basically, it's like a severed person, like a severed girl, and she's got like
cuff of the waist. Yeah.
She's got like one of those. It's not a kunai.
Sickles.
Yeah. It's like one of those like ninja sickles, like a short one. And she just basically crawls along the ground hunting people, right? Yeah,
and then it usually like either in like tall grass or like leaning out a window so you can't tell.
Yeah. And I remember like for most of the episode, like we didn't even get to, she didn't outwardly attack. You just like, if you look, like I caught it like once or twice, and then I think I went back and checked, and there's a couple more times where she was just in the background. Like,
just shuffling like, real slow.
Or just like this really dark, like this like just dark figure like on the ground level, or like near a window. Like if you looked in like through the window, like there was like a very subtle like color change that you could kind of see her.
Yeah, like when he was out shopping, like he just like trading with somebody and looking in the crowd. Like it took me a while until she was like most of the way on screen, because it was like real slow and real small, but like and then, it's kind of like that.
It's like what
guys playing basketball. Like did you see the gorilla suit go up by? And it was real small. Yeah, like not your focus
until once it like finally comes into focus. Like wait, what is that? But yeah, that one got resolved. Like I think that she didn't die.
No. He kind of like stomped her ass real quick.
Yeah,
like still a hardcore man monk.
Yeah, and I think was the kitsune. I think that helped out as well. But
the foxfire bit. So.
Yeah, and they And they basically didn't. They just kind of like banished her off or like warded her off basically after she was.
Yeah. Once they like when they were fighting her, they let her back to her grave and like
because she
reunite with her lower half basically.
Yeah, because she had like a sad story. Like she was actually like cut by she was stuck on a train tracks or something like that and got cut up.
Yep.
And then just basically suddenly just had a sickle like and wound up as a ghost.
Oh man, that might be though. Well, two bits that you mentioned reminded me of the technology in old school days remind me of Samurai 7. Did you ever see that anime?
Yep. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Just Seven Samurai, but anime.
But basically steampunk like mechs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, legit robot man that
and like steam, like this giant steam city basically, and then they go to like out into the rural parts or something.
Yeah, literally sword fighting mechas for a good part of it. And
am I thinking Samurai 7 or am I thinking Eureka 7? Eureka 7 was similar, but like because it's all the same like plot, like the Seven Samurai.
They were never in mechas, the main characters, if that's what helps at all.
They just had like technology.
It existed. Like one was a literal robot, and
so maybe
it was just samurais, and this town was being raided by bandits. That was like
I was definitely thinking
dudes in power armor and mechas, and like
I was definitely thinking Eureka 7 then. Yeah, I do remember somebody being a robot. The one thing I saw is Samurai 7 when I.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't finish, but I got through the main plot basically. So it was kind of like, let's go fix some other problems while we're at it. I'm like, I get it, guys. Thanks. But that one, and I think it was called 101 Tales. Much more obscure, I think. It kind of like I started to get the name for a while because I thought it was like, is that Ghost Stories? No, that's the one that thing. But it's like feudal Japan. It's a guy going around trying to gather 101 like ghost stories. Double check that real quick, but because there's some kind of legend that like if you do that you'll meet a actual ghost or
so he's like
you'll get a wish or something like that. But
gotcha. So he's basically like Pokemon, but the story, the never-ending story kind of.
And there's this little monk man who's following around, being like, "Oh, here, I'll help you out. Here's the lucky charm," kind of thing, and like. And then, like, what we're seeing in the background is that they're him and his two buddies, this beautiful woman and this big buff dude with these big long ears, are variously magical creatures or ghosts of some kind that keep punishing the evil people he keeps meeting.
Yeah.
Like, what I remember clearly about it is, like, he goes see this baron who's, like, I'm obsessed with food. He's obsessed with meat. He's like, bring me monkeys. Like, no, bring me horse. It doesn't taste right. And, like, they explain it was because he had, like, he has this, like, tragic crash, this cart in the mountains, and he ate his horse. It was never seen the same again, but, like, those two characters gradually torture him, like, psychologically, by, like, the woman has, like, a magical doll that can become people, and, like, the buff dude can shapeshift, the monk can appear wherever he wants to, and they kind of just fuck with him enough to make him confess that he ate a human being. It wasn't the horse he ate, it's the guy who was his driver or something like that.
Jeez.
And they just drive him mad, and the guy's like, and the storyteller is like, well, I didn't get an actual ghost story, I just got a weird story about this cannibal dude, and they're like, you'll get it next time, buddy, and keep going, and like...
And they just kept they kept feeding him like false stuff.
He kept following rumors, and they kept following him for the rumors, I guess, or they were also showing up because of the rumors, and they were just finding crazy and horrible people pretending to haunt them, and then giving them some kind of comeuppance. And
I remember one of my buddies like showed me like it kind of reminded me of the partially of the beginning of this one where like it's very much a serious tone, like of it's just a bunch of short animated like ghost stories and stuff, like with the whole like when he first encounters the yokai. It kind of reminded me of like the kind of like this is a serious like creepy, like they're trying to build up atmosphere, and then or like Oni-chan and Kappa, or I guess
it kind of went all over.
It's not Oni-chan because Chan is boy, right? So,
well, Chan is little, essentially.
Okay. But isn't like that's the male one, right? Verb. I think it's.
I think it's pretty much. It's going to come down to how you pronounce it, how you pronounce the Oni, but it's not the dad term though. Oni-san is big brother, I want to say, essentially. Ocha-san was it.
Ocha-san. Okay.
That's dad.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oto's
and that was the Kappa and them basically like running over and just like kind of like jumping on him as if he thought they were gonna attack him, but they were just like basically giving him a hug.
Yeah. The Kappa was ridiculously heavy, and like,
Yeah.
the Oni was ridiculously strong. They all had little things going on. Let's see. They had the Tactic episode. We also had a point of we both kind of were obsessed with the Spider Demon episode.
Okay, so the two-parter, because it was like because they on their trail, like on their journey, like they stumble across an abandoned shrine, and not just like an abandoned shrine, like it was like left alone or something like that. No, it was like it looked like it had been it had been ravaged, and it like had cobwebs everywhere, and there was an egg. At least they thought it was an egg.
I mean, kind of was.
I mean, yeah, it was, but I mean, that egg is singular and therefore invalid with this part, because
and
basically they're maybe it'll be like another sister, Ochi-chan, and then so they start like kind of like they spend the rest of that episode just kind of
taking care of it like a
exactly, and then fantasizing
modern life episode I could think of, but
and fantasizing about what kind of like yokai it's gonna be, like if it's maybe a dragon or I don't know what the other ones were.
I mean, they only want another Oni kind of thing, and
exactly, they were like thinking their own types, and then next episode, I think it ended on a cliffhanger as it started to hatch. And then the next one, it hatched, but then it also started ripping like silk. And then they realized that the shell was actually a cover for the cocoon. And suddenly there was just 1,000 spider oni, or not spider oni, spider ones.
They had a term, I'm sure, but it doesn't matter.
It's like basically like a girl's head girl's head on a spider body. 1,000 of them, just
Jorogumo.
Jorogumo. Yeah, we looked it up earlier. And yeah, they basically
I double checked now. I forgot.
Just like 1,000 voices just screaming like Ochi-chan.
They
went straight for the monk.
Jingen.
Yeah, Jingen, yeah. God, it's just like a tidal wave coming. Like it was almost like a clown car coming out of that cocoon.
Yeah, and just all the girls like screaming and running for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just remember, the Nekakubi like basically just abandoned her body. let her sister take care of the body.
Exactly what I would have done. Make my head float away.
I think the kitsune like started getting ready for the flames. But then Jingen?
Jingen with a G.
Jingen, he stopped her from like basically just flamethrowing them, I think.
Which caught like the curtains on fire, and she's like, "Wow, there's a fire!" and like running around.
Because they had left the shrine. They'd gone on to like a hotel or something like that in another or one of those like hostels. The tavern, the feudal Japan
local place to stay.
Yeah.
I don't know how Japan hotels work. Except for their love hotels.
Or their capsule ones, or the ones
through
that
context.
The ones that are just a coffin, basically. Or you just go into a tube. You have like no space.
People live in those, apparently.
That wasn't this. This was more like kind of like you had like a room and bed, stuff like that.
The old-fashioned.
Yeah. So that was fun. Like just having like basically the manager and his wife dealing with all these spider girls, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's trying to like bubble them basically Steven Universe style to bind them again.
Yeah, he's trying to like keep them like under wrap, or like trying to like keep them bound, like to keep them away from like harm and from harming anybody else. Go like how's?
I mean, that part's kind of the highlight, so I can understand that. But it's basically gets like most of the bubbled up, and it's kind of he thinks he's got them all, and they kind of have to like Katamari the ball of spider people back.
Yeah, they think they got them all, and then there's like every couple of episodes, there's like a single one like they just kind of like zoom in on. That's just like
almost like a less subtle snail on Adventure Time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And she's getting like gradually bigger the entire time, like little bit. Yeah. So she's like bobcat sized by the end of everything.
Yeah, I swear I thought she was actually going to be the big bad boss at the end. Like that was going to be the final attack.
She seems too smiley for me to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
she was kind of like, "Hey, I'm here." In the background.
I guess it was kind of like the ninja dude in One Punch Man. That like the guy who's like smiling all the time and like looks super evil, but is really not a threat.
only in
At least,
context.
yeah,
for
I
you.
mean, in context of what
Situationally.
yeah. But I don't know. Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop a little. Sorry, I'm gonna drop a little gauntlet on you here. Hear me? Did you get that?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you cut out for a second for me, but let me respond there. But anyway, so clearly it is waifus. I visited your episode about Dente
and SCP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this seems related. So I'm rather than ask, which you're free to answer afterward, I'm going to guess which one was your waifu.
All right.
You would do if legal yokai age or whatever. Let's see. We've been talking. I think you are. Misa was the neck one, or the no neck one. I forget.
Misa, I think was the Nekakubi.
Yeah, which is which one again?
The no neck one.
No neck. All right. I think you were no neck. Misa.
It would be a toss up, I think, honestly, between her or the Kappa. The Kappa girl.
Kappa was cute.
Yeah.
She's a little chubby like that on her character.
Yeah, I just don't like. It's like I don't know what it is about like frog girls like in animes nowadays. Like they are like they draw them cute. I don't know, like in
Hero Academia really got that going, and then it keeps showing up.
Well, in Academia, and then like in Soul Eater, that's the one where they have that frog witch.
Oh yeah, the witch.
But yeah, like it would definitely be like I don't know, a close thing between her and Misa. I can't even remember her name now. I think it was
Kappa.
Yeah, the Kappa.
Sasami. That's it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Sasami, because it's like the girl from Tenchi.
Yes, there you go. That's the one.
But Sasami. Yeah, because I don't know, like it's very close. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to
do
guess
me next.
Okay.
Yeah, guess mine.
I'm gonna guess the Oni, because she was like I don't know, pretty big, like.
Yeah, like she's. I got a strong girl thing. She's definitely up there.
I mean, you did do that. You did do that like novel. What was it? The Hercules thing, or
that wasn't even entirely for me, but yeah, that was. I'm cool with that. Yeah,
okay.
I'm cool with that. Okay. That one's like remotely legit. Like it had a story and like. Let's see. I mean, like non-sexually. I'm just like that's cool. That's a cool thing to have. That's a power I would want. It's just like it's got weirdly practical effects. Let's see. Yeah, I think big picture. Eyeball Girl really had my eye. I like their personality a lot. Mm-hmm. But Oni, Yuki. Not Yuki. Yuki was Yuki Onna.
The Yuki Onna. Yeah, that one.
She
was only there for a couple of episodes, right? Like
she was around, but she wasn't like a major player. She was usually keeping the house. It seemed a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Ritsu, the Oni. That one's mine. Yeah, I call dibs.
Yeah, she also had like an innocence to her too. Like she was like definitely like she had. I don't think she was ever going to like she was more about like just being like his daughter than anything else.
Yeah, you went for the traitor character. I noticed.
Yeah, I know. I think it was honestly it was the look, like the spiky red hair.
Yeah. Okay. Are you a redhead person?
Yeah, kind of.
I don't have a preference, but if I had to, I'd pick red.
Yeah, that was why it was a close second. Or it was close with between her and the Cap. Yeah, I don't know. Cute versus.
Because as I learned, as I learned from hosting live, when people like ships and they like waifus, like
they like redhead.
Probably If I ever hear a preference, it's usually that way. The occasional blonde, not for me. It's for your people. Let's see.
And I think it's like as we got closer to the ending, like there's like some kind of a Buddhist or like not Buddhist, but like maybe it was Buddhist, but like a esoteric like tournament was kind of going on near the end of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it was
like they had
monks what was it like monks versus yokai or like
it was kind of like a general like ceremonial monk tournament of what Taoism, Buddhism, whatever he is. I couldn't quite tell. It's the one that like Inuyasha has in it.
Yeah, which is those,
Shinto maybe
Shinto monks.
Yeah, that kind of outfit going on. But it was kind of like this general ceremonial thing, and the yokai girls was kind of like, okay, I'm in. Like, we live in a temple, we count.
Yeah, and it was a little bit of a controversy to the older like monks in the at the tournaments. Like they're the enemy, kind of.
Yeah, and he's like, well, and then Jingen just kind of like humoring them as he is the whole way. He's like, oh, he's surprisingly chill with everything. He's like, hey, what kind of monk can't beat a couple of yokai? What's wrong with you old timers? And
yeah, like his attitude, like through the entire series, like had a nice arc as like changing from like super serious at the beginning, at least anyway. Like he was like super serious. And,
yeah,
like,
the real beginning, yeah,
like monster hunter kind of character, and then he basically loosened up and got much more mellow as the years went on.
Yeah, when that time skip especially, where when they aged him up, and he's kind of like, yeah, all right, whatever, just rolls with everything, and which I guess I'm not super familiar with Japanese religion again, but I imagine that's kind of more of the spirit they want you to be in.
Yeah, like well, you always want to kind of, I guess, have good vibes, because I mean, it seems to like whenever you have negative thoughts or negative emotions or like stressful levels, you end up becoming, and if you die, you become something horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's
So imagine
that's across like a lot of cultures. Just like if you're a bad person or like a negative person in life, you become a negative thing in the afterlife.
Yeah, I think they're reincarnation, aren't they?
Maybe,
am I thinking of Buddhism again?
Yeah, it's a fine line because there's like a bunch of different. There's a few spiritualities there, like kind of mingling. And I'm not.
Well, I think
I the last time I looked up Shintoism and stuff, that was bad.
Yeah, I think Jimenku kind of bugs him about it, being like, oh, don't screw up, you'll come back as a yokai kind of thing. And,
look at me.
I'm being useful over here.
Well, because he kind of had definitely had like, at least that's what the subbers gave him, was kind of like I'm walking here kind of.
Yeah,
like,
he had a slight New Yorker accent. His even subtitles were kind of like scratchy. Like,
yeah. And I kind of always got the feeling that like was he? Yeah, he was just named Jimenku, I think.
Well, they're called Jimenken, the species, I think.
Yeah.
Double check that. Yeah, Jimenken is what their species is called. He was Jimenku. It was like
I think
hilarious nickname.
I always got I got the hint that like he like was like basically like don't be like me. Like he was like he had screwed up. Like he had been very like he had done something dark in his life and became because of that.
I imagine just a little bit of that. It's also a bit like be a decent yokai, be shitty ass dog face,
be
like
decent yokai.
At least like murder a man and become an oni or something. Like
be a decent yokai guy. Yeah, man,
like more like scared straight kind of.
Yeah.
Also, I always pictured him as being like voiced by the Japanese Dan DeVito kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely had. Yeah, I could see that. Like if they had to get like if I could choose like the voice actor, it would have to be Dan DeVito. Like for like an English dub.
Pick Dan DeVito as Jinmenku / Detective Pikachu. Any day.
Right, I remember that. Like that was last.
Okay, I have to make it.
That was like last year.
Yeah, I don't think they've settled anything with it except for like Dan DeVito's is like, what's a Pokemon? No, but.
The tournament starts, and they actually like after like an episode of debate, the elders agree to have the yokai girls like join in, and man, that ending, like that final like fight as it went on, like because it had like about an episode or two of preliminaries and then like some fights and stuff, and then the ending just like completely shocked me, right?
Yeah, like we had like a hey, look over there kind of a distraction, cheap winnings, which Dragon Ball reminiscent. But which one was it though? When it was like the real back and forth with
You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, all right, sorry.
You're good now,
yeah, when it was the real back and forth with the Kitsune.
Yeah. Yeah, between her and the Rokokubi, right? Were they?
Yes.
Yeah. That was the one that was fighting. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Jingen was like just stomping people left and right, and then like he basically happened to trip on when and then like Sasami like sumoed him out of the ring, that counted. But now Kitsune and Rokokubi, long neck and Fox Girl. Yeah, Fox Girl. And and they're kind of like flying around the Dragon Ball Z and around the place, like throwing fireballs, and Jing is kind of like, all right, this is getting out of hand. And then like the
that was when the Tengu showed up, right?
Yeah. And she's kind of like, from my father, and she impales him with the spear.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh shit, they were serious.
Yeah, it's just like, wow. I'm
like, okay.
The Tengu, because the Tengu was like kind of came out of left field, but then like because that was the bird one, right? Like that was the one with this.
Mm-hmm. Birds, big noses, yeah.
Yeah, and she was actually working with Nekakubi and or Misa and Tekka. Yeah, Tekka was the Rokurukubi. Like they got
Mozu and Misa were the
Mozu, yeah, right. Sorry,
the next, yeah.
Yeah, they had been actually like basically in talks with some mysterious figure over the course of the series as well. And then it's revealed to be this Tengu girl that had also like had her dad die, and she like basically like lingered in the shadows. And
we saw a Tengu at the start there. We just didn't see a Tengu baby.
Yeah.
At any point there.
Yeah, and then the mastermind or the shadowy figure that they'd be in contact with occasionally finally like showed them.
And
I almost forgot about that because it was very seldom when it happened.
Oh yeah, with the Tengu bit.
Yeah. Or like when they would talk to some like
when it was kind of like when they're doing their little secret lean away talks, sometimes there's a third there. Fucking Jingen dies. Like,
I know. It's like
he has like a little like, I raised you kids good kind of moment, but
and then it all tied back like to like what Jinmenku said, like don't be a bad person or be like me, or like at least do something like badass so you can. And then,
which he kind of did.
Yeah, he turned into a fucking dragon, man. Like that was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I guess that's reincarnation lottery, like jackpot rather.
Just like I think he took care of the Tengu. Yeah, he took care of the Tengu, but he didn't get rid of the girl. The other he basically punished them, but didn't like they didn't.
He didn't just maul them. He kind of like golden lighted the Tengu away.
Yeah, that's the other thing I noticed about the series. Like, there was a couple of like vicious scenes about like there's some human victims that would be dealt with by like things that they'd encounter, but Jengu never actually like never actually like killed the yokai creature, the creatures they encountered. It was always like banishing them or like
put them to rest. Yeah, he not since the ghost dads, if you will, at the beginning.
Monster ghost dads. Yeah,
not since he exercised Bill Cosby, right? Like,
God. Oh, jeez.
Man, I gotta run that Ghostbusters game again.
We really do.
You put you guys against Ghost Dads and Bill Cosby Ghost.
Sorry, you were cutting out there, but it'll probably.
I said, I need to put you guys against Bill Cosby Ghost and run that game again.
Yeah, it's like, I'm coming up the Ghost Dad.
I'm brushing all the pudding pops.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would be fun. But, and then that's basically the series. Like it. Yeah,
he kind of like goes on raising them as Dragon Man.
Yeah, and with
is implied. Yeah, like then they're all kind of
like just chilling there as well, in like the back like in the house as well, or in the shrine temple there.
Yeah, they're all just kind of cool with it because now they're like, well, we killed them, we're good, we avenged it. Technically, we're still okay, and so like Mozu and Misa move back in, and
eventually they kind of like, all right, we did that, I guess.
Like, we're cool, right? Yeah, okay.
Sorry, we killed you, stepdad.
He's like cooking dinner as a giant golden dragon. Like,
yep.
Mixed messages. The show, like,
seriously. Well, I guess the point was like forgiveness, and like it was very much like in Shaman King. Like Yo doesn't ever like actually kill, or like when he defeats his enemies, he never actually kills them. They're very he's very chill and like tries to like basically make them his friend, or like show them the error of their ways. And like that's kind of by the end of the series, that's kind of where this one was going.
Well, I mean, end of Shaman King, I believe they literally ran out of money, and so Yo didn't have a boss fight. He just
that's the
forgave his brother.
That's the manga. They actually recently I think he got funding to redo the entire series. Like he actually is I think he's revamped it to give it a proper ending, like not just the weird like and then his like sidekick character had a dream of them rescuing Hao as a princess.
And then bro fisted their way to victory.
Basically, and like that's kind of like the feels you get in this show at the very end, anyway.
With this baggy pants and peace and hacky sacky made his way to peace. Let's see. I think that's pretty much about it. Voice acting was fine.
Yeah, like, the subbing is really the biggest.
That still fucked with me.
And the bubble text didn't really like they'd sometimes use it in subtitles, and it was just kind of annoying too. I remember.
Well, my fucking subtitle story is when I first got into One Piece, I was like scrounging Kazaa and getting episodes because I was like, I've read the manga show and jump. I'm like, fuck yes, this, and And I got my one friend who hated anime to get really into it because it's not like anything else. I was like, I'm reading this new manga. It's about pirates. It's like, yeah, that's great, Greg. I'm like, it's got a shape-shifting reindeer doctor and a dog that sneezes exploding baseballs. And he's like, fuck you, this book, Greg.
Tell me more.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I can find like 5 episodes on Kazaa. Some are missing. And he's like, no, fuck that. And he goes on like eBay or something.
And tracks down.
And he gets Japanese DVDs because it wasn't even remotely translated yet in America as far as dubbing. And so we got the Japanese ones and got English subtitles on it, which were like passable. Like we got the point.
Well, yeah,
it was like,
there's
like some.
Once you watch enough anime, like you tend to start like at least picking up like the inflection.
Yeah,
least, like,
I definitely get that when I sit around Angela watching shows. But I mean, we had subtitles. It was like just Japanese done English ones. Yeah. So there was like little misphrasing things that made us giggle. But most of all, almost every character's name was wrong.
Oh God.
which is not a translation thing. It's just a thing. So like, I know the big one that stood out. There was Sanji was sun-kissed for some reason.
Sun-kissed.
Just full-blown Capri Sun style. And
so it was almost like how YouTube, if you put on
yeah, I imagine it was like that.
Their paraphrasing thing, or the what is it? For
subtitles version, but it's like audio
where they
translate in one.
Yeah, it's like robot, like the AI puts in like subtitles for what's like what you're hearing. Mm-hmm. Like it's almost like Dragon Voice or whatever that like text.
Voice to text. Yeah. Like,
yes, speech to text. Yeah,
which I understand is hilarious on our show. Yeah. So his comment, but the big thing that fucked me up was there's Usopp, the little sniper character, and his father Yasopp, who ran off and being a pirate and ditched him. They're translated to Usopp is called Liar Boo, and his father is Jesus Boo.
Oh.
And we're like, none of those things match slightly. What did that come from? Like, those are the same letters, guys.
Like I was thinking like the Usopp one, like maybe I can get away with it. Like Jesus Boo. But I was like literally just trying to visualize his dad. It's like he doesn't really even look like Jesus. How?
No, he's big lips, dreadlocks guy.
Yeah. I mean, apparently that's what somebody thought you did.
I guess that's about it. Anything else?
I don't think so. I do remember. Where did you find this again? Like the because I remember I think I remember seeing like a VHS of this at a movie warehouse. Like we had this we had this video store in my own town called Movie Warehouse, and it was like one of those like mom and pop kind of places, but like they went the 9 yards with like the horror section looked like a goddamn dungeon. Like it was in a little alcove, and there was like dungeon. The walls were like done up to look like bricks from like a castle. And like they had like an anime, like a this is back when I was in high school, so like 8 or so. And it had like a little like nook for like a bunch of old like VHS animes and stuff that were like just getting dubbed or subtitled. And like I remember like getting Blood the Last Vampire and like a Journey to the West anime. And then I think that's where I saw like the redheaded Nekakubi girl in Misa in there. It's like she was on the cover, like, and I think that was like my first time actually like seeing the Nekakubi and like wondering what the heck it was, and then going on to Dogpile and looking it up.
Yeah, but, you were just like, when I told you on the series, like, I want to have this, you're like, why do I know this?
Yeah,
and you're like,
why does Misa look so familiar? And then, but like, I only saw, I remember like when I think I checked it out, I think there was only like an episode or two on this, because back in the, but yeah, where'd you find this? Like,
I had to like do like, someone gave me a torrent from like bitch subs, and
yeah, because you looked.
I can't find them. So
weren't you looking for like something like waifu-ish, like a thing after the Nightmare Waifu episode?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get you a monstergirl show. I'm just looking to dig up. Like, I called in some guys on I don't know, on Skype who kind of like getting this deep stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, go through bitch torrents. I'm like, I bitch subs. I'm like, I can't find that. What is that? I'm like, I fucking hear it. And they just give me direct torrent or direct download link.
Yeah.
So maybe with like what's it called, the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
Dig that up. Yeah, it's a little. It was like a predate. It was like a very early taking the monster girl genre, so it's kind of like off in a little ways. And
I'm pissed though, actually, because the that video store's totally closed down for the last couple of years.
I understand I went there and they were like, "What video store was never here?"
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about?
And then the security guard vanished. I was in the junkyard. Like,
and then the guy walked away, and it turned out he was one of the he was that samurai with the eyeball in his butt.
he pulled his pants down. I saw eyeballs butthole. I was like, "What?"
I was like, "What the fuck?"
I'm never coming to Japan again. You guys suck. You guys are, well, I'm not calling you an asshole because it's just putting a bit of a fine to point on it.
Man.
He winks.
God. Wop it up.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. Just
so
I need a better means of this, but yeah, what do you rate it out of whatever what?
I mean, like, it's no Inuyasha. Like, it's definitely
good for it, frankly.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
because boy, was that show good for 10 episodes.
Yeah, and then it just kept going.
Then it kept doing that thing over and over again.
But I think, like, I don't know, I'd probably rate it like. Do we have like out of 10 or something, or out of 5? Or
that's the generic one, unless you got something crazy you want to throw at me.
I mean, I'd probably give it like.
What creepypasta does it rank as? I don't know.
I mean,
that's a pretty vast.
Yeah, that's also pretty vast
scale.
Like, I mean, if Jeff the Killer's a 1,
Mm-hmm.
Marble Hornets is like, say, a 5. I put it probably at Ben Drowned in the middle. Like, the animation was cool. Like, was okay for the time. I think it was a little bit.
About 3-ish. That we going for 3, 4.
Yeah, about a 3. Like, I liked the. It was kind of cringeworthy sometimes, but like, it was silly and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I liked the monsters in it, but yeah, and that subbing was kind of what dragged it down as well. Like,
yeah, that's a big hit.
So yeah, that's mine. 3.
I'm a little generous in general, but I'd say a 4. It's mostly for what it does, and that it was subverting things without really knowing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, again, like we didn't see the Tengu coming, like, or that Spider Girl that was like like basically being in the background, like, she's like, hey, I'm still here, guys.
Not really doing anything either, except for moving in at the end.
Yeah, like, I thought for sure like she was gonna play a part or something, or like jump in and help or something. No, she just didn't really go anywhere. Just kind of stayed.
A Black Widow herring of some kind. I don't know.
I think I saw her in the audience on the tournament, and that was about it.
Hey, waving at me.
Yeah. like Jengu's like hurt on the ground, like, or like been like stabbed and like dying, and like everyone's, and then just like in amidst like some people who are shocked and like of what's going on, she's like waving. It's like, hey.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna like come over and like web him back up or something.
But no,
but,
she just did nothing.
Really. No, we're fucking killing our OC or MCOC here.
Yeah, boop, done. But I like the animation. Like I said, the art. I liked the art style, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess that about does it. So, you have a podcast, I think. What's up?
Yeah, I have. As I've mentioned before, I'm of El Dente Rigamortis, and you can check it out at basically anywhere that does streams media. Like, we're on iTunes, we're on YouTube, Kiwi6, Facebook, Tumblr. We've got a Patreon. Just look up El Dente Rigamortis. I do creepypastas. We discuss creepypastas on my show.
That's much more specific.
Yeah.
Good call. Clarification.
Yeah. We discuss creepypastas, riff on them, and then like say what we like, what we didn't like. Yeah, basically, not quite a review show, but like our thoughts on like how a story could be improved, stuff like that.
It did become much more editorial in a literal editing sense as time went on.
It evolved. Mm-hmm. Originally, I had only planned on it being just like a discussion of like what our opinions of the show was, or the stories were, and then as it went on, we kind of like started just like picking away at it and becoming grammar Nazis and basically becoming full-time editors for internet stories.
Yeah, like genuine feedback eventually.
Yeah, like we've actually gotten a couple of the authors like email us and ask us like to like can you edit like this story I'm writing? It's like, sure. It's like, yeah, I love your show. Like, okay, so you've seen the show and you want to okay. Oh yeah, I'm totally, yeah. You can totally do another, like, I have another story you can do. It's like, did you watch that episode, or did you listen to that episode? Like, okay, like I am surprised that we actually haven't gotten like any kind of serious hate mail from any of there. It's like they seem to be genuinely like happy that we're critiquing or like discussing.
I think you got.
And that's really what it is. Like we're just like giving us an honest opinion like of the story, and it's just our opinion of it.
Yeah, I think you got one that was like, well, it's not for everybody. Kind of.
Yeah, that was
response. The worst you got, I think.
Yeah, no, that is legit like the worst we've got, and that's totally fair. Like, yeah, it's our opinions. Like, I'm not going to say that our opinion is the correct one. Although Leviathan will probably say that. That I think is more. He says that and it's mostly a joke, but he is a bit of a narcissist.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so if you're interested in creepypastas and you want to hear a bunch of chucklefucks listen to or like read creepypastas off camera or off recording and then discuss them on recording, give us a shout. Give us a look.
Yeah, and I visited one of your episodes as well, so that'll probably be up around the same time. What's your upload schedule compared to present day?
I think that one's 2 weeks from now. Yeah, we have a pretty.
We'll probably be a little longer depending.
Yeah, we have about a 2 or 3 week
or we do it early either way.
So yeah,
there's no reason that we do this in order. Just
yeah, exactly. So you'll definitely that one will be up in about 2 weeks as of this recording.
Yeah, let me know. I'll get on mine then try to sync it up.
Yeah. And yeah, that's basically it. Al Dente Rigamortis. Check us out if you like what you heard. If you don't, leave us a comment anyways, because I'm always fine with like us being critiqued or like being commented at, being yelled at. Yet it never happens.
We are podcasters. We are desperate for attention and response to make sure we're not yelling into a cave and just hearing our own echoes.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Speaking of, I really got a piece. So.
Okay.
Give us that good old sign off that we always do on our show here, Crazon. Cultist.
This has been Anime Well?
Good enough.
May your dreams be daydreams.
Actually, that's really close. Like, I don't think I started bringing the catchphrases until later, but would we lie to you, and may all of your days be dreams.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
I'm our go-tos.
Yeah, hang on, so let me do this, okay. And so this is... No? Okay.